Let's see. So, today is supposedly Columbus Day. And for the woke crew, it's been renamed Indigenous Peoples Day. And it says an ongoing woke row has again erupted today across America after Columbus Day was renamed as Indigenous Peoples Day in 14 states. The second Monday in October is one of the most inconsistently celebrated U.S. holidays, which honors Christopher Columbus's discovery of the New World. Okay, first of all, Columbus couldn't discover something that had already been discovered since people were already living on this land before Christopher Columbus, with his nasty syphilis coated ass, came ashore and brought with him all the diseases and shit that killed the Indians. And what didn't kill the Indians as far as disease was concerned, in comes alcohol and everything else, to which the Indians are fucked up to this day. So, Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, Woke Day, what difference does it make? Walking around, strutting off somewhere in some, I don't know, city hall or whatever, doesn't do a damn thing to address the issues that the Indians today are still experiencing. And I'm pretty sure none of you decided to, if you believe this Indigenous Peoples Day, decided to go to an Indian reservation to see what those people are living like. You don't give a fuck about what those people, it's just all about you running around trying to act like you are doing something because, oh, Columbus Day, we really shouldn't be celebrating that because that was the extermination of the Indians. Okay, well, like I said, have any of you ever been to an Indian reservation? Because if you had, then you would find high unemployment rates, suicide rates much higher than the national average, a high mortality rate, abject poverty, and these are the first peoples of America. They were here first, and yet their situation is such as this. But you want to run around town screeching about this is Indigenous Peoples Day while ignoring what is still taking place on reservations and in multiple cities in the Midwest. Because where I live, there is well, I can't say a huge Indian population because, I mean, what is it, about 45 of them left? And those 45 are sitting somewhere. If they're not on reservations, I've stumbled across a homeless encampment that has mostly Indians in it, and they have a sign that says that they welcome others. And the only other the only other asses sitting up in there is black like mine. Yeah, go figure. But y'all want to screech and hoop and holler about this is Indigenous Peoples Day while doing nothing to mitigate the situation that the Indians of today are finding themselves in. So, what did the UN do when they decided to send a special rapporteur, as James Anaya, to look into the plight of the Indians here in America? And once he had come to a conclusion with his report or his inquiry, the first of its kind, he found what I've already described, a range of social ills, high rates of poverty, alcoholism, domestic violence, and low educational attainment. No surprise there. And according to S. James Anaya, quote, these are a product of what's been referred to as intergenerational trauma spanning decades, really centuries, since the founding of the country and before. End of quote. So he's certainly not stating that the Indians have no complaints, au contraire. And so, again, what was done about his findings? As James Anaya stated, quote, we asked to meet with members of Congress and just didn't get a positive response. End quote. No surprise there. Why should they respond? Their coffers are filled with ill-gotten gains, mostly from lobbyists with an agenda. Can the Indians who live on reservations in squalor tote a briefcase filled with money and get their agenda across? Do I really need to answer that? So if we have no problem with people whose land was stolen from underneath them living like they do, what does that say about us? Aren't we a Christian nation? Do we not care for our fellow human beings? How we treat each other does not bode well for how this country will continue to thrive. And if we are to continue down a me path, then we will soon find ourselves not liking what the future holds for America. And so this is for the Indians on a day that I'm pretty sure none of y'all will be celebrating in any fashion, whether it's called Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. But this poem I wrote for you guys back in, what year was it? 2013. And it goes like this: Whom the Christians destroyed. Once upon a time, this land was yours to roam, and so the Christians came and then just stole your home. They labeled you a savage, put you on a reservation, exposed you to disease and every type of degradation. Peace with them was possible if you'd only stay your hand. Did they not round you up and then just take your land? You fought them back on this and gave it all you had. Your weapons were no match. What happened next was sad. The treaties that were broken are still no good today. Your children kill themselves. They do not laugh and play. Yet these Christian crooks are rich and worldly goods and such. Do they care about your plight? Really, not so much. Some live like kings and queens and think their shit don't stink, but ask them for a slice of bread, at you they simply blink. So bide your time and wait, for soon we all shall see. They'll be not above your plight. Their greed won't set them free. They'll damn themselves to hell because that's where they do believe all sinners in their ilk and those they can't deceive will burn throughout eternity. A time that knows no end is just the place for them and for those they call a friend. They're hypocrites and thieves and liars one and all. And just like Rome did burn, America too shall fall. So for the Indians who may hear this, read this, know that, yeah, this here Rome that they stole from you is burning and it is falling. It is collapsing. The entire world will cheer when the shithole of all shitholes, America, finally collapses. And if it's the bricks that has to put an end to this, fine. And I wish and hope with all that I have within me to wish and hope that Vladimir Putin will stop with the rhetoric and send missiles up the ass of America and end this collapsing shithole so that the rest of the world can get on with the business of living. And so for Indigenous Peoples Day, I also want to say that I had also posted a blog, and this was on September 24th of this year, and I titled it, The Native Indians Have Something to Say, But Who is Listening? And so once again, they're out in the streets, the whites of course, trying to act like they're doing something for the poor downtrodden Indians by screeching and hollering that no, we're not recognizing this as Columbus Day. This is Indigenous Peoples Day. We're all woke now. Get the program, people. Get with the program. Okay, we're woke. We know what's going on. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up, because you motherfuckers are the reason why everybody else on this fucked up planet is fucked up. Okay? So when you start getting fucked up, that's when you want to take the streets and hoop and holler and screech and carry on. Shut the fuck up. Take several seats, sit the fuck down, and shut the fuck up. Don't nobody need to hear anything else from you. Because I posted that blog on the 24th of September, and now here it is, October 9th, and y'all talking about, oh, I'm woke now because I'm not recognizing this is Columbus Day, this is Indigenous Peoples Day. Like I said, shut the fuck up. Because if you were about shit, I wouldn't have been walking past this homeless encampment that had teepees set up in there by the boatload, and signs from Indians saying never homeless before 1492. Yeah, you know what that means, right? Columbus sailed the ocean blue 1492. Yeah, that's where that came from. They were never homeless before 1492. But you want to sit out there and screech and wail about this is Indigenous Peoples Day, but don't do anything about the Indigenous peoples that have been homeless encampments. These people are talking about with this sun, we deserve to recover land back. Okay, well then why aren't you somewhere giving up the land that was stolen from those people and having those people have their land back? Because that's what they're demanding with these signs that I took a picture of. We deserve to recover land back. So to those of the pale skinned variety, if you believe this, then why don't the Indians have their land back? It ain't doing them no good to have you standing there in front of City Hall or pacing up and down the street screeching with a sign talking about we're recognizing Indigenous peoples. That's not getting these people their land back, and that's not getting them out of a homeless encampment. Okay, so you can just sit the fuck down. Okay, they're saying no more evictions on the stolen land. That's another sign that that was up. No evictions on stolen land. So these people were evicted, okay, by the whites, who are once again running around towns all across America screeching about this is Indigenous Peoples Day. Let's all kumbaya, and it's not Columbus Day. We're not recognizing that because he was a bad man, a really, really bad man. Okay, all y'all are bad because you are following in Columbus's footsteps. Because if you weren't, like I said, I would not have been taking pictures of signs at an Indian homeless encampment. Really? Another sign that I took a picture of: respect treaties on our land. Now again, this don't make sense. The Indians are in a homeless encampment with a sign saying respect treaties on our land. So that means right there the treaties were not respected because they're in a homeless encampment on a continent that housed them first. And then the land was stripped from underneath them by the same bitches and bastards that are on the streets now screeching and squawking about, oh, this is Indigenous Peoples Day. This is our Columbus Day. God, y'all make me sick. And here's another sign: no more evictions on native land. Unfortunately, those people are just preaching to the choir. People like me, who, if we could do something, we would. But we do what we can. And I was just trying to bring attention to this, but who is listening? Because white folks are too busy trying to hear themselves and think that they're doing something. Because y'all have always been about yourselves. You've always done that. Okay, they're asking for no more sweeps. That was another sign that I took a picture of. No more sweeps. If you don't know what that means, it means that the cities of all these states, they have all these homeless people. They come in with the city crews and they disband the camps, the homeless encampments, and they trash all these people's belongings, moving them on. Where? Who the hell knows? And obviously who the hell cares, because everybody's too busy trying to talk about how woke they are now. They understand that it's Indigenous Peoples Day as opposed to Columbus Day. Okay? Another sign I took a picture of: together we stand. Well, yeah, they're standing in a homeless encampment. They're together in a homeless encampment. These people, this was their land, but they together stand in a homeless encampment. Another one: we will overcome addiction. That was another sign that I took a picture of. We will overcome addiction. I don't even know where to begin with that. Y'all know exactly what they mean, because what happened? Weren't the Indians given alcohol, and now unfortunately they are addicted to everything else that's out here, including alcohol. It's oh God. Once again, I wrote a poem. I don't know why I'm even saying it, but what was once paradise, where once this land was pristine and Indians roamed free, now is a toxic waste dump, polluted from sea to sea. Everyone on the land that we now stand was an Indian, but today they have all been consigned to oblivion. These people want their land back, but there are none who will listen, as they sit outside on display, on exhibition, Folks drive past and pretend that they don't see lost and hopeless humanity huddled inside a teepee. Bring on winter, a winter of snow and ice, and there are many who will die in what was once paradise. Really, you people? But it's not Columbus Day, right? It's Indigenous Peoples Day. And these people can just sit out here and what's the problem? And, as far as Christopher Columbus is concerned, he was a white person. And I think there's no white person that's a person that should be celebrated because you're the reasons why all of the groups on this planet are fucked up and wandering around trying to find some damn place to hang their fucking hat. From one end of this planet to the other, all is on fire, bombed, drone struck, blasted, and some more shit. And who do we have to thank for that? Who do we have to thank for that? Yeah, we all know who is to thank for that if you want to consider thanks for that. So, to the Indians, once again, I tried to bring your plight to attention. I posted a blog about it. I took the pictures of your signs, but as I said, or the question that I asked, you have something to say, but who is listening?